Welcome to Tran Wins Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon.
The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Fore-Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the weirdness, a primordial force of chaos and possibility. But now, long after the death of the king, Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the weirdness is creeping back into our lands. The bleeding heart of the plague has started beating once more. And the Red Death has returned. Rulers of the island asylum, an order of the Red Priests, are desperate to stop it by any means necessary. Rotting in one of their cells is a stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
And what does this stranger look like? You have presets, you have your standard settings. We will again go with complete default because this demo is extremely short, so none of that actually matters. Apparently you don't get a beard. We're not even going to name ourselves. That's how short this demo is. Since our default appearance is very old, we'll be slow and tired.
Rise and shine, rise and shine. Yes, it's me again. And I hope this time you'll cooperate without me needing to repeatedly hit you in the face, eh? Look, we just have to get this over and done with. Unless you want a visit from someone upstairs. And trust me, you don't. Just like before, no food until we're done here. And the moment you start getting on my nerves, we're going back to my tried and tested fists. So, tell me, what were you doing in the forest when the Red Shields caught you?
I was hunting.
Hunting? I wouldn't take you for a hunter. But as they say upstairs, looks can be deceiving. And you're, what, hunting just to get by? Or do you do something with your catch?
I collect rare materials for alchemy.
And then you sell your concoctions to poor people, promising them miraculous recovery from whatever ails them? Charlatans, the lot of you. Okay, that was easier than I expected. Now, unfortunately, we'll have to start.
I always found it puzzling that these people won't bathe. You, I understand, you're literally rotting in this damned cell, but them, there's just no excuse for the stench. There they are, finally. I know, you have a million questions forming in your head, but they'll have to wait. One of these keys will open your cell. When you get out, head left. I'll scout ahead.
There's a lot of random rooms you can search. You can pick up stuff like brains and hearts and food. None of that matters, and I do know that I did say the game is short. It took me maybe 2 hours to get through the dungeon the first time. That was looting everything, but that's really unnecessary to do. That being said, it wasn't bad to do. It's probably is fun if you're playing it. We'll run this way real quick, grab a couple things. Those lockpicks. Just sweep everything up, not bothering to read it. You can actually take the arrow if you look carefully at it. We are skipping all of this for now, but we'll come back to it later once we get a little more powerful. Not that we need it. And we're moving quickly because I want to see if the knight says anything different if I don't take all day. What I've seen of the game reminds me of Oblivion. I have read the Steam forums. I always do that before I start trying to cover a topic. And it seems that a lot of people are unhappy with how this was done in Kickstarter. That tends to be the case with Kickstarter games. And while that may have been a negative first impression, the way the development team was responding to these comments was professional. And I think that's worth giving the demo a shot.
You took your sweet time, eh? But I understand. I did too when I was leaving this place for the first time. You have to admit, the Red Priests are quite resourceful when it comes to death and dying.
I don't know why you said I took my sweet time. Other than grabbing the lockpicks, I rushed over here. What's next?
Oh, I don't believe this. I'm finally blessed with someone who understands the situation they're in and doesn't ask stupid questions that can wait for a better moment. I'm told this path leads to the beach. I don't know how, but if it's true, then I'll wait there for you until dusk. Good luck.
He says until dusk, but you can probably, I didn't actually try it because on my first pass through, I didn't actually do any resting. But you can probably rest the entire time and it'll be fine. I'll explain why I say that. Normally you can't get back up here, but I have a way. We're just gonna keep going forward. Not really worried about anything. There's a bad guy right there, we'll just go above him. He didn't even notice us. This one will notice you. Hi. When you're blocking in this game, if you block right before it connects, you don't get hit and it stuns him. The red bar in the bottom left is my hit points, so I failed a couple blocks right there. The green bar is stamina. It's also the stamina for him as well, and when you block successfully enough, he staggers. Hitting him in the head does do more damage. There's also a dash move, that's Alt. This is probably the fastest way to go if you do end up encumbered, which is tough to do, by the way. You have to loot everything and kill everybody, and you will eventually be encumbered. While you cannot run when you're encumbered, you can still dash. I'm gonna leave all the notes up long enough for you to pause and read it. But yeah, in a standard game like this, I would go in every room and hoover up everything. But realistically, all the stuff I just grabbed does not have any meaningful impact. For example, I grabbed 3 cups. I grabbed a mug. Lockpicks are good. Pail, we're probably pooping in. I think that should be your weapon instead of a club. I don't think any of the guards want to get hit by that. I have tried jumping for that, but there's an invisible wall. In this game, you can control yourself in the air. I can strafe left, jump, and then start strafing right. With that in mind, you can do things such as jump, dash. This is a piece of useful gear. I don't know how useful, but it's more useful than, say, a mug. It's a jewelry slot we can equip. It says increases magic armor by 50. I have no idea what that actually does.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place?
What are you?
I wish I could answer. I cannot remember. I know I am not complete. I remember I once knew who I was at some point, but I do not anymore. I just am.
What is this place?
I do not know. I think it is some kind of prison deep in the weirdness.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
I've been transported here by a morbid statue.
Are men here? That would explain the weirdness surrounding us.
You're a prisoner?
I might be. I do not know. Was I sent here for a reason? Did I end up here by accident? Like you?
Why do you want to leave?
I've been here for what seems like an eternity. I feel I am getting restless. You are looking for a way out yourself. I think we might be able to help one another with that. I shall do something now. But trust me, the discomfort will be worth the outcome.
And then it gives us a time stop ability. You don't need the time stop ability to use this bridge, but until you talk to him, the bridge will not fully appear. When you're doing a heavy attack, which is on the controls, as long as you're holding the attack button down, your stamina continues to drain. That's pretty sad. You can do a push by holding block and doing attack, but it's not a very substantial push. It's barely anything. It doesn't appear to make units hostile when you push them like that. Parrying is one of the most useful skills in combat. It allows you to avoid all damage and greatly reduce the enemy's stamina. When the enemy's stamina is depleted, they become staggered. To perform a successful parry, use block right before the enemy reaches you. For some reason, you don't seem to get block stat here. Otherwise, you could probably just farm these guys for stat points. So I'll just kind of just block for a little bit. He does grunt right before he swings, but that's a very short window. So it's probably better to get used to the 3 types of one-handed swings that they do. You don't even really have to look at them that much. It could be over here, and it would count. That one's generally the hardest one for me to get. The others are pretty easy. I have tried doing this, just mashing right-click. It doesn't work. So it does cause slight problems when you are fighting multiple guys, because your character has not finished recoiling from his first block. So a second enemy swinging at you will still connect even if you right-click at the correct timing. Temporal hold allows you to slow down time. Use it however you want, to attack, escape, and so on. But remember, it will need some time to recharge. Activate and deactivate temporal hold by using the middle mouse button. Alright, we're gonna save that for a little bit, because I've got something I want to do with it. Listen, I am trying to hew through these guys. I'm getting a lot of damage, but it's okay.
I am sorry I did not ask for your permission to do that, but I hope it was worth it, as promised.
What did you do?
I found a bit of emptiness within your heart. A place where I could dwell for a while.
What are you?
It seems that I am a piece of a shattered soul. Judging by my abilities, I used to belong to what your kind would call a Fore-Dweller.
What do you want from me?
I have already told you, I need your help to leave this place. And when we are out of here, I will need your help finding the rest of me to make me whole again. I feel I am but a shadow of what I once was.
How am I supposed to find the rest of you?
Look for what is left of me whenever you step into the weirdness. I know your kind tends to avoid it, but you do not have to be afraid. I will be your shield against the darkness.
And what, after we leave?
I will try to help as much as I can, but I need you to hold up your end of the bargain.
I will.
Thank you. We shall meet again then. Find the weirdness and look for me within the darkness.
This warps us back to right next to the bridge where we ran above the enemy unit. We cannot backtrack back to the statue, but we can backtrack everywhere else. I'm literally standing on his head. That's why I wasn't worried about getting damaged, because I'm already fully healthy just from leaving the portal. I'll leave this up for a second to redeposit. And now we're going to backtrack now that we have our ability to freeze time. This is how you get back over. Stand on a barrel, dash your way up. I didn't make it that time. It's not perfect, but it's definitely doable. Now the game probably doesn't expect you to do that. It's a shovel here. Maybe they already grabbed it. Oh, it's right there. We can now rest or cook or whatever. We'll take a look at real quick into the other rooms. Actually, before we go that way, we'll go this way instead. That way we can sneak up on someone. This room right here that's below us, the tunnels lead there. Yeah, you would normally do all of this before talking to the guy. It gives me a small health potion recipe. It says strong alcohol and sage. I just hoover up everything I can. It's not actually essential because the game ends shortly after this dungeon. This is how normal gameplay of Tainted Grail would look. I'll go and re-look at that real quick. Inventory, so quests, bag, readable. There we go. Burns' method of separating the mind. That way, I want to leave it at least up long enough for you to easily pause if you wanted to read that. Continue cleaning up after these guys, sweeping up everything, which is mostly useless stuff. Encyclopedia of the Second Pope. Now let's take a look at this alchemy station. And let's really quickly review what that recipe was. Strong alcohol and sage. Let's try doing that real quick. Run some moonshine, which would normally give me 3 mana. Do we have any sage? We do not. So this tunnel also leads to the bridge room. As punishment, they're condemned to being stripped completely. I'm not really looking at what I'm picking up. I'm just sweeping it up into my backpack. We can also do some cooking. I don't have any items on me yet. We skipped pantry earlier and we'll work our way backwards to it. That should be everything in this room. The other exit out of this tunnel just leads to the stairway next to the knight who rescued us. And then this is the jail area we started in. So I know I completely worked from it backwards, but I wanted to show that, one, you could return to this area a little more powerful. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why I chose to do that. And this is the cave, or not cave, this our cell. By the way, each of the cells has a 7 Commandments book, which is the same for all of them. Lockpicking works very much similar to many of the other games, such as Dying Light and Fallout. Treatment records. Our sage. Heart here. We remember that we saw jars of hearts and brains earlier. Looks like there's glass everywhere. And then there's a note that I will actually read here, only because it's vaguely interesting. To anyone who finds this note, you need to run before they start their treatment and makes you decide you must gnaw off your legs. I promise you are not sick. Yet even if you are, they will not cure you. Save yourself as I did. I stole a small glass jar when they weren't looking, broke it into pieces, and swallowed them all. Soon, I will be free. Grabbing all the poop buckets before we stray off too far. Let's go ahead and head back and lockpick that final cabinet. This book here is what we'll call an adult book, and I'm not going to pick that up. There's nothing wrong with picking it up, but since I am recording, we're going to skip past it. Alright, this is the food room. Now we can start cooking. There are 2 sacks on top of these shelves, but there's actually nothing in them. You can jump on these cabinets and dash over to those sacks, but there again, there's really nothing there. Letter home. Dear Mom, I know you must be worried sick about me, and I would read this because it is a quest, mission, side quest, but we're never going to get the chance to do this, so I will go ahead and go past it. Same thing for the old letter. My dear Martin, I finally arrived at the island asylum and have received my preliminary medical examination. I really do feel that this the demo is way too short to really give you a good taste of the game. But I mean, if you want more Skyrim or something, I guess this is good for you. Is that everything? And of course, the most important thing in there, or notable thing in there, is you get a cracked shield. Is there anything else I need to be doing? I guess I could put it on. Actually, we'll put the bow here, the shovel there, and I think that's it for now. As your character is running around and jumping, you'll get agility and athletics. If you're dashing everywhere, which is what I did on my first playthrough, you'll get more evasion skill. Just mashing E as I look at everything. There was a note we just grabbed, and I was mashing E, so I didn't give you a chance to pause if you wanted to read it, but here is the note. I mean, all the lore and extra stuff would be nice, but since you get to see so little of the game, none of it matters to us. Then this is probably the most interesting bit of these searching these cells. You have a little what looks like to be a child hugging what is assumedly his mother, but it could just as well be a father. I'm sure that you can tell if you were to know your skeletons. And we're done. We have looted everything in this entire dungeon, I believe. This is the bridge room from earlier. This tunnel right here leads to the same thing. Oh, actually, there probably are some mushrooms in here. I must have already swept them up. Then there's the knight. So here's what we're gonna do. We also have a quick use wheel, which we can press Q, not hold Q. Then we can select anything in our quick slots as well as our 4 loadouts. All right, let's try cooking something. So we'll do beef, venison, and onion or something. I created meat stew +1. What about something like this? Vegetable stew. So that's how cooking is prepared. We'll go ahead and take a nap right here next to this body. Get our health back up. Not that it matters. Now I'm going to make a save and try to fight this guy. If he hits you, you will die. You must perfectly block. Nope, I died. That's why we saved our temporal hold. Resting does not give you your time-stopping ability back. No! Oh, come on! Dude, he fished out a bow on me. That's never happened before. Woo! Finally. Now, I only did this because I wanted to show you can defeat him, and it makes no bearing to the story whatsoever in the demo. And you can't loot him. This time. Also, while I was up there earlier, I saw that I missed an item, so we'll go and grab that this time around. Here's another note. Now, there are level ups that you can use to get more health. That would not have helped. He kills you in one shot regardless. There's also a magic spell you can get up ahead, and you can even get infinite mana, but the spell itself seems to do no damage. Also because it's not implemented or something. I don't know. These guys here are just part of the backdrop, spinning this thing around, whatever it might be. And then there are 2 slabs of descriptions on each side. Take a look at it real quick. We created the Titans for we need their work. I'm guessing those are giant guys. Leave it up long enough for you to pause if you wish. There is one item to the left called an Ogre's Claw. Your ability to walk around is fairly stealthy. Running will alert him to some degree, so I will, once I get closer, start sneaking up on him. This is a word spawn, but not nearly as weak as the previous ones we were fighting. He also has magic and a 2-handed sword. Alright, let's go ahead and slap on our new 2-handed sword, and we'll put on the spell thing here. As for quick slots, we could put our foods and such, but it's nothing major. You can't enter, by the way, you can't enter this by going through the back. And this area is the final part of the game. As with before, we're going to try to kill everybody off. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. It's just the game lets you. And since this is a demo and nothing really matters, might as well. Venerable Prior. This is another quest note. I have taken the liberty of leaving my post on the island asylum to personally deliver some disturbing news. As with the other quests, we'll never get involved with it. Now, I did suffer a little bit of damage from the enemy, the word spawn, but it doesn't matter. The other people we are going to try to kill will also one-hit kill us. Word is sacred. Why nobody listens anymore? You can see through her arm here. And that should be all the loot on this side. You can also try swimming away, but there's an invisible wall. You can try swimming around the aisle, and there's also an invisible wall around that. We missed that one body. Let's grab that real quick. We might as well rest anyways, get our meager hit points up. Some dandelions, probably for alchemy, but there's no more alchemy stations from here on out. And you would normally grab all this. There's some couple items of reagents, another pail for dumping, and then a hermit's diary. I will go and read this one just because I'm not really sure this is supposed to be Merlin. Probably not. I have been roaming Avalon for far too long, and I've had enough. I can't find any of my brothers, nor has anyone left a message at our agreed place. It's possible that I really am the last of the living druids. I tried to lay low near Caradoc, but people there seemed stern, but there's more to them than meets the eye. They never believed the vile rumors about our congregation, nor did they have a hand in the terrible crime at the Charred Conclave. But those red fools came there too. Again, I had to flee for my life. My poor old bones won't take it much longer. With the help of a man named Hob, who lives in a sunken village, I made my way to Island Asylum. Ha! That was the best decision I could have made. After all, they won't be looking for druids on their own territory, will they? Hob wasn't even surprised when I asked him for this favor. Such a nice fellow. My days are nearing an end, and those red people never found my hiding place. I was able to live out my days in relative peace. It's been so good. I will miss my cozy cave. This is my last entry. I will soon join my brothers. I believe they will consider my diversion a great plan, the last of the famous druidic pranks to be carried out on this sorry island. It was worth it. And of course, in the event of full game coverage, my character will be laden with all these goodies, which are constitute of feathers and daffodils. There we go. I have picked up everything except for a couple daffodils on the floor. Let's go ahead and head on to this next cutscene.
There he is. Now that we're all here, meet your new comrades, Conquer and Syria. Get some rest, people, and prepare for the journey. We're leaving at dusk.
Not so fast, brother. I'm not getting near a goddamn boat unless I know where I'm going.
Away from here, brother. Isn't that enough?
If you wish. But since we're all here and we have some time to kill, it would be nice if you finally explained what the hell's going on. You've helped us leave Arcadia's great. But even though we're grateful, you owe us an explanation. What do you want from us?
To show some damn gratitude for one thing.
Caradoc, we weren't born yesterday. No one would risk getting into trouble with the priests for nothing. Why did you save us?
I need you to kill King Arthur.
You're insane. He's insane.
The King Arthur that has already been dead for 600 years, King Arthur.
Precisely.
But he's dead.
You probably wouldn't have heard about it among the tribe's little Pict, but every single time things go down the shitter on this island, a bunch of cowards in Camelot bring our once and future king back from the dead. It's happened before. It will happen again. And soon.
What a load of... fine. Have it your way. Let's say I believe you.
You can't be serious.
He believes that. There's no point in arguing with a madman. But that still doesn't explain why you saved us, Caradoc.
I wish I knew why I was ordered to save you three specifically. Personally, I don't see the appeal, but I don't question my orders, and if you get on my boat, you won't question mine. Understood? Now get some rest. The tide's not right just yet, but it will break and start working in our favor by dusk.
Fine. But where are we going, exactly?
To the Horns of the South.
Nice. A bunch of glorified fishermen who hate my people. Why would we stop there?
Do they teach you, Del Rita, anything? To take the Excalibur, obviously.
Obviously.
He's truly insane.
You'll see for yourselves soon enough. Now pin these emblems to your clothes. They will grant you free passage to the Horns. And get some sleep. You all look like you're about to keel over, and we have a long journey ahead of us.
Getting on the boat ends the demo, so we're gonna kill these three guys, again, just for the purposes of maxing out content for the demo. I'm really not a psychopath.
You alright there, pup? Ready to kill a king?
So you believe Caradoc?
Ha! No, but I've met other men like him. It's best not to argue with him. And if he keeps his word and gets us off this blasted island, I'll even help him get his fancy sword. I don't mind beating up some lightkeepers either. Pack of self-righteous pricks, annoying as hell.
What did the Keepers ever do to you?
Ha! Like they could do anything to me. Bunch of wet rags. You'll meet them, you'll see. They go on about duty and honor and protecting the South. Yeah, right. They can't even protect their own arses, so they just sit on them inside the walls. Miserable gobshites. Just thinking about them makes me want to hurl.
I thought you'd be more worried.
Ha! What's there to worry about? If that shifty old bastard tries anything, I'll send him to meet his dead king in the afterlife. Maybe that'll straighten him out.
How did the priest manage to catch you?
With great bloody difficulty, that's how. What's it to you anyway? You think you can try your luck now? I wouldn't count on it.
It must have been a legendary battle. You must have taken out at least a dozen of them.
A dozen? Ha! They wish. Those bastards laid a trap, hoping it'd be easy pickings. They ended up needing damn near a full army to take me down. Spineless pricks. They make my blood boil. I swear to you, one day I'll come back to this place, slaughter them all, and then burn it to the ground.
You don't look like someone who'd easily fall into a trap.
There was maid, there were women, one thing led to another, and I woke up with my pants down, surrounded by gobshites in the red. I was fighting with my bare ass hanging out, and I still managed to kill a dozen of them. Useless nobs. Must have added something to the maid.
Do you need any help with your wounds?
Hell no. I ain't letting anyone touch me unless I'm in a brothel. Ah, shite. Just remembered they don't have any of those in the Horns, and I thought this day couldn't get any worse. Anyway, worry about yourself, or the lass with the horns. I'll live.
Can you tell me about the Dalrata?
Which tribe do you want to know about? Volker, Svein, Dude? You'll find as many of them as fleas on a mutt. The only thing we all agree on is that Camelot needs to be put in its place. It's about time we reminded them why they wanted us to come here.
Why do your people hate Camelot so much?
We came to this blasted island as one people, but Camelot forgot that the moment they stopped needing us for their wars. They think their shit doesn't smell, and that we're just a bunch of stupid savages that'd happily get killed for a bag of coins and a pretty promise. Bunch of smug pricks.
I'll see you on the boat.
That you will, Bob. That you will.
I have a bad feeling about all this. I wish there was some other way of getting off this cursed island.
You don't trust Caradoc.
I trust he won't kill us until he gets what he wants. But what he wants is, well, you heard him. It's pure insanity. So we're in the hands of either a madman or a liar. And I'm not sure which one is worse.
He did save us.
Because someone ordered him to. That's what worries me the most. Think about it. He helped us escape, and nobody even tried to stop him. He just came and went as he pleased. His employers must be some powerful people, and when powerful people take an interest in you, it never ends well.
So you don't believe what he said about King Arthur?
You're not serious, are you? Are you really asking me if I believe that some shadowy people in Camelot resurrect King Arthur whenever they need him, and then fling him back into his tomb when they don't? Trust me, no matter what Caradoc claims, weirdness cannot bring back the dead. The only thing it can bring is misery.
Well, he's alone, and there are 3 of us.
Yes. He's also awfully confident for someone so outnumbered. There is a strange aura about him. I can't put my finger on it. But I'll be honest with you. Right now I couldn't overpower a kitten, much less an armed mercenary. I'm not sure we can count on Conquer either. He looks tough, but... well... the priests were sure happy to have him. Still, if push comes to shove, we might be left with no choice.
We could try to find another way.
We could. But what if we get caught again? Gods only know what they'd do to me now. The bastards were already getting bored sawing off my horns and watching them grow back. Besides, look around. Nothing here but rocks and maniacs in red. I'm afraid Caradoc's boat is our only option.
How did you end up here?
Same as you, I guess. Wrong time, wrong place. The village I was passing through got raided by the Red Shields. Someone must have really hated their neighbor, if you know what I mean. They snatched me up too. Said that since I was an outsider, I was most likely the one who brought the plague. Scum.
It's not like I can tell anyone I met a Pictish woman while escaping the island asylum.
You better remember that I can push you off the boat, and I will if you don't learn to mind your own business.
So, about the horns on your head.
What about them?
Conker's fascinated by them, but doesn't know how to ask. He's rather shy.
I feel like I should be offended, but that's the first thing that's made me laugh in weeks. Or months even. So I guess I should thank you instead. There's not much I can say, really. I don't like the horns. They're heavy. But I have to learn to live with them. I can't just saw them off, because I already know that they'll grow back again. I only hope nobody will sell me to a circus.
You're taking it rather well.
I've seen my share of mutations caused by weirdness, both in people who got caught in the fog and those who stepped into it of their own volition. Some came out with a tail, some ended up turned inside out. So I know for a fact that it could have been worse, much worse. In the end, they're just horns, and my lungs are still in my ribcage.
I will get some rest.
It might be for the best. Something tells me we'll all need our strength.
I told you to get some rest. The journey ahead won't be pleasant. The sea is angry today.
Why did you save us?
Because I was told to. And there are certain orders you just have to follow, whether you want to or not.
The path you told me to take. What was all that?
I wish I could tell you, but I have no idea where it led. And I don't want to know. All I know is that I was supposed to show you the way. The question was whether you were meant to see it through. It seems you were.
I saw a men here. It transported me somewhere.
I don't need to know, and I don't really want to know. You can explain it all to my patron when we get to our destination.
Your patron?
Everyone's working for someone, but don't even hope I'll tell you who I'm working for. You've proven you're a survivor. You still haven't proven we can trust you.
Our destination?
All you need to know for now is that we're heading towards the Horns of the South. There, we're going to take Excalibur, and then be on our way.
The Excalibur.
Yes, the one and only. Listen, I can see you have a lot of questions, but I truly have no intention of answering them. Maybe you can just get some rest instead.
And they're just going to give it to us.
Well, we'll have to see about that, won't we?
So, about killing Arthur.
Yes, I know it's hard to wrap your brain around it, but you'll either trust my word or you won't. The man has died several times now. It's time somebody got rid of him for good.
But why?
Because it's against nature, and his sins are way too big to let him persist. Nothing could bring me more joy than seeing his empire finally crumble.
How do they resurrect him?
You thought what you saw in the island asylum was bad? That's child's play compared to the forbidden rituals they performed to bring his carcass back to life over and over again.
Alright, we'll make a save and we'll try to dispatch the ranger. If we can do so without dealing with the other two, that's fine. The other two don't really have anything of consequence, but the ranger does have, I guess, an Easter egg or maybe some sort of clue on him. Go ahead and make a save, and we'll give this a shot. Now, even though they both talk about not trusting Caradoc and potentially needing to deal with him, they are automatically on his side because the game never really intends for you to attack. Oh, come on. Now you get your bow out? Oh, wow. I like it. He friendly fire and everything. Trying to get him to hit conquer. That was good. That saved me a lot of work right there. Alright, so I can show you the magic. It's not really effective. Does nothing to them. While it does make them stagger for a brief second, it doesn't even aggro them. I have stood in front of them and cast that spell a dozen times and nothing happens. I'm gonna make a save since we managed to get one of them down already, just by sheer happenstance. Oh, I ran out of stamina for my dash backwards. Crumples to the ground again. They can swing through each other, so there's really no advantage to fighting two at once. Alright, let's take a look at our skills. Since we are level 3, we can pick up some skills, but there's not much we can do. We can't get anything past this chain here because we don't have any stat points above 5. We start with 0 and everything in the demo. We can get Executioner, takes 50% more damage. Hits have a 5% more critical chance. When we attack with a heavy, we have a 25% chance to stagger the enemy for 2 seconds. We get 5 extra health. I think that's probably not intentional because this says precision shot. And arrow retrieval is also max health 5. Anyways, under dexterity, there's slow down an enemy by 20% for 2 seconds on arrow hit. 50% more critical damage. Mixtures last 25% longer. 10% cell modifier. 50% less noise, 50% less footstep noise while crouching, 100% sneak damage, 25 extra max health. Sounds great. That would basically give me 50% more health, but again, they just one-shot you. 20% stamina regen. We'll go and get that. 25 encumbrance limit. We at 149 out of 200. Passively regenerate 2 mana a second. Would be good if our spell did anything, which it doesn't. 10% more spell power and 10% more spell power. If I run right in front of them, they will attack me. Obviously, I'm trying to get him to kill his friend again. Alright, one more to go. Make a save here. Follow up with another save. That was a super incredibly bad swing. Victorious! Alright, let's take a look at the gear. First off, I'm not actually encumbered. I must have missed something. We can now equip all of his armor, or her armor, or Hunker's armor, but we're going to equip the range armor because it's the coolest looking. There we go. Now we're dressed as him. There's no jewelry. We did get his blade, Camelot Soldier's Gladius, Conqueror's Axe, and the Herbalist's. I put in the Herbalist's Longsword. That's some nice gear. Alright, but that's not the important part. The important part was that we got a note. Mysterious letter. An envelope with a broken yet beautiful seal, containing a letter written in a language you don't understand. Petula Aquila to Upper Soul. I'm guessing that's Latin, and we can run it through a translator after this, but this is something that you can only get if you defeat him. Whether or not you're at all expected to get it this way, I don't know, but there you have it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the in-game cinematic. And there we go. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to represent. Is that a bear eating a person? That's kind of grisly. Early access release will feature an open world area that will give you 10 to 15 hours of playtime. They are hoping that early access was released in March of this year. Today's March 16th, I believe. Thank you very much for watching. Tran wins Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. I'll see you next time.